This jumper is very fitting for the type of video we've got today. Ho ho, hello there, and welcome back to another Mouldie Makes. If you've missed the last 3 episodes of this series, don't worry, you don't need to have watched them to watch this one. Today, we are making 3 Arcane minifigures, arguably the 3 most important characters, but I'll let you debate that down in the comments. If there are any other minifigures you would like to have seen made from Arcane in today's video, then definitely let me know down in the comments. Drop a like if you end up enjoying the video, subscribe for more. But like I said, this is the 4th video in this Mouldie Makes series. The playlist will be on the end. You won't have to run around searching for the other videos, but so far we have covered Wednesday, we have covered Wicked, and we have covered Nightmare Before Christmas, all 3 of which LEGO have recently come out with sets. So I thought today would go into a series that I am currently watching. Only the first 6 episodes of season 2 have come out, but there will be no spoilers in this video, besides the fact I'm really excited to see where the second series ends up. And because this is, by the looks of it, just going to be a 2-series show, I wanted to tackle this now whilst the show is still fresh in everyone's mind, and I think it's time we take a look at the first of our 3 minifigures. In fact, before we take a look at the minifigures, there's an important update to the Mouldie Makes series that will change these videos on my channel forever, or at least the foreseeable future, because on my last 3 videos, I've had a lot of people requesting I give water slide decals a try, which if you aren't aware, water slide decals, it is in the name. They're decals, you stick them in water, you slide them off straight onto the plastic. It's an alternative to the stickers that I've been using in the last 3. The stickers I've been using are the paper stickers that LEGO used in the early 2000s. Not really great for lasting, but I do cover them in a nice vinyl sheet, so they should last a little more than Legos, but they're not great at sticking to LEGO minifigures. It's all right for this series because not only do we make our own decals, we also make our own LEGO minifigures. They're LEGO minifigures because we're following the typical LEGO design, but they're all 3D printed and hand painted by yours truly. So because this is my first time working with water slide decals, I thought not only will we switch up the base, this is white instead of black, still no better to see on camera thanks to the exposure. But we're going to start off with the base because it was the first thing I did, and I actually learned a lot from trying to decal this piece. You can see the logo here. I have done this on white so you can see better the cracks compared to me decaling a black piece which will hide all of this detail. But I think it's important to capture this on camera just so I can see how much I improve in the upcoming weeks as we enter a brand new year. Hopefully the year of water slide decals on the Master Mouldie channel. But you can see there's a little crack on the LEGO logo and there's quite a big crack going throughout, and I'm not sure if that's because I didn't coat it right, which I think is probably the case for this piece. It was quite a large piece and I probably should have given it an extra coat just for its size. I've also cut it very close to the edge, so water definitely could have seeped in. I'm very happy there isn't any more damage, but it also means we can apply the minifigures straight to the base plate here. I've gone with studs. I do own the same display we have used in white and have enough of them for this display. However, I think that studs are probably better for custom minifigures because at the end of the day, if the legs crack, we're using a PLA, so the legs are going to spread a lot easier than LEGO pieces on this display anyway. If the legs do crack, at least there's 2 points of connection rather than just the one that isn't as secure. Now, finally, time to bring out our first minifigure, and I'm going to go with who I think is the most important of the series, Jinx, and there'll be a few close-up shots just because I don't think I can show off all the detail at this angle. But we've gone to CMF style because I'm only making 3. I'm putting in as much detail as I can. Front of the torso printing a dual-sided, a dual decaled face, I guess. We've also got back of the torso printing, side of the legs and arm, front of the legs, and no hip decals, but I don't think there's much detail I can add to the hips of these minifigures. And I've also painted the legs like they are dual molded, and some of the arms as well that you'll see later on. But like I said, there is a dual-sided print to the face, a slightly angrier look on the other side, which I think is the case for all 3 of the characters in this video. But I really like how I've got the simplistic design of Jinx because it is quite a straightforward, there's not much details to be added in, a few belt buckles here and there which have come across. And for my first decaling, in fact, this was the second minifigure that I decaled. We'll get into the first one in a minute because it's probably not as good looking as this, but I really like how the arms have come across and it's definitely holding up. I did this about a day ago now and the face isn't popping off, the arms aren't popping off. Compare that to when I tried it with my stickers. This is definitely hugging the minifigure a lot better. But if you did want these decals and wanted any of these designs, I give them to the higher tier, brick tier of channel members alongside instructions and possibly even at some point some of my custom 3D printed designs like my minifigure display, which again is 3D printed. Not only do we love Lego here, but we love taking it one step further. And if we place Jinx on our minifigure display, we can take a look at the very first decals, well, beside the decal on the display. And those went to Vi. We couldn't have Jinx without also making Vi, who is Jinx's sister. And I don't think I can talk much more on the matter without spoiling aspects of the first season. But you can see I have dual painted the arm. Now, we run into a problem with the decals pretty early on. I got translucent decals, so the printing, and especially the white and the different colors on the top bit of the arm for the logo, really doesn't come across. Now, they are on the decal, so if you were to print these yourself, I would recommend one of two things. Either printing them on some white-backed decals, and what I mean by that is I've got translucent decals so you could see the colors of the arms through these decals. What I should have done is order some white water slide decals instead. But alternatively, if you've done the same as me and bought some translucent water slide decals, color the minifigures or get some white legs, or if you have a 3D printer, 3D print some white parts. I have also painted these white, even though the plastic is white originally. I've painted them just for some extra grip, and you can see that the print comes through almost perfectly, and then you can touch up the edges, which is what I do with the next minifigure. But let's talk about Vi here for a second, because there's a lot more torso detailing on the front. The back is still very simple. We've just got the hood with two lines on the jacket, which does look quite nice in minifigure form. It's nice and simplistic, yet you still got all the detail on the front. Again, painted the legs to be dual molded black and dark bluish grey to match the designs of the legs on the side and on the front. The arms haven't come across too well, but you can still see the decal is there, especially that cuff on the sleeve has come off really, really well. And again, on the front, I have smeared a bit of white paint so we can get the white bit in the middle, but I should have carried that on to the neck, as it looks like a really bad printing job, something you'd see very, very rarely in an official Lego set. Again, we have a dual decaled face, although I tried to put a little bit of white before it. It's not needed on the skin color, the nougat color that I've chosen for these minifigures. And I really like the choice of hairpiece. I didn't mention this with Jinx, but Jinx is using the same hairpiece as my custom Wednesday minifigure, at least the one in the school costume. I've just colored it blue to match the character it is on. And that hairpiece has only been used in the CMF Pretzel Girl. I think I've called her Danish Girl at some point, but the CMF is called Pretzel Girl. It's only been used that once, and the hairpiece itself has so many more uses. The one I've used for Vi here is, I believe, of Kai, who is the red ninja of Ninjago, and it's been used on a few minifigures. I remember seeing one of them, and both of these hair pieces I went straight to, which I cannot say about the next hair piece, which I actually changed mid-building the figure. And the figure that is being built is Caitlin. Now, there are definitely a few minifigures that could have been built instead, and I was considering building Vanda, who is the father of the two sisters here. But I feel like this character has a more important role and also would be a bit different to create in minifigure form. So for the hairpiece, originally I was going to use Kenobi's, but in a lot of scenes, Caitlin does have that little hairpiece hanging down, not as prominent as Jinx, but there is a little strand of hair that just comes down her face. So I've actually used the same hairpiece as Jinx, but cut off the two ponytails or the two plaits at the back, which I think does work for the character, though of course you can also use a painted up version of Kenobi's hairpiece. There's a slight blue tint to the dark hair here, but there is so much detail on this minifigure. We're seeing the return of a decaled or printed or painted skirt piece, like we saw in the very first Mouldie makes with those Wednesday minifigures on Enid it was. However, this only has a decal on the front rather than being stickered 360. The back has some slight details, especially around the shoulders, but there's not too much to it. The arms have the black gloves on the bottom. And again, the logo hasn't come through too well, but hopefully that's something I can fix in future videos like this. We have the brown boots with the blue line, which almost matches perfectly. There's a slight unleveling, but that is down to my decaling rather than the decals themselves. And like I said, the skirt piece does have that nice decal which matches up to the print of the torso, and the alignment of them is almost perfect. It's probably 0.001 of a millimeter off, but to the naked eye, to you and I, it looks pretty good. Now, Caitlin does have a dual decaled face as well. I don't think it's as angry as the other two, but the natural look is pretty angry itself. And once again, we can place this minifigure on the right hand side next to Vi. And I'm so interested in seeing where these three characters go in the final 3 episodes of season 2. They're not out as of recording this video. They come out on Saturday. And if you want to have a little conversation about Arcane, I know this is mostly a Lego channel. I would be happy to discuss them down in the comments. But these are the 3 minifigures. Decals will be up on the members Discord as of this video going out. And in fact, I'll probably put this out early to members as well. So if you like the sound of them perks, definitely consider becoming a member, though you also get early videos at the lower tier, which is only £1 or 99p. So check out both of them with the join button down below. Drop a like if you did enjoy the video, and I'm very happy with how these minifigures turned out. If you like what you see and want to check out some of the other minifigures I've created, again, the playlist will be on screen, as well as another video that YouTube thinks you might like. But I had so much fun making these videos, and this series in general is so fun. So thank you all for enjoying it. Again, check out the others if you enjoyed this one, and may the bricks be with you always.